This is your brother G World 7_D. I want to show you something and talk about something that's very vital that you need to pick up on. And there's brothers and sisters who've talked about this before who are talking about this, but I've been leading up to this for a while. But you just check out other people's channels too, because they talk about this very subject, man. And I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here is going to Louisiana, right? Gateway to the Mississippi Valley. Now, I've spoken about Mississippi before. The Louisiana borders Mississippi on the western end. All right, now here I'm gonna read this. Louisiana, one of the most favorably located states in the Union, is Louisiana. It stands in the Gulf of Mexico astride the mouth of the mighty Mississippi River. To the north lies a vast basin of the Mississippi, the richest river valley in the world. To the south, across the Gulf, are the growing markets of Latin America. This location has made Louisiana one of the great commercial states. Its chief city, New Orleans, is one of the three leading United States ports in value of foreign trade. In addition to trade, Louisiana ranks high in minerals, fish, lumber, furs, and tourism. Its main factors, of which the most important are chemicals and food products, are worth about $2 billion a year. This is an old book, so it's worth more than that. Its farms produce much rice and cotton, and lead in sweet potatoes. The state ranks second to Hawaii in sugarcane. For almost 100 years, Louisiana was settled and controlled by France and Spain. This early history is shown in the many French and Spanish names on its maps and in the term parish, used instead of country. The state also has a strong French and Spanish heritage in its population. Basically a bunch of European Negroes, customs, and architecture. Louisiana's civil law is based on that of France and Spain rather than on English common law as in other states. Louisiana, meaning land of Louis, was named by the explorer La Salle in honor of King Louis XIV of France. The nickname Pelican State comes from the pelicans that live along the Gulf Coast. King Louis XIV was a Negro. Even the AI gonna admit it now. You just say, was King Louis XIV black? It'll tell you he was black, but the paintings you see are white, and they're talking about how racism exists. King Louis XIV was a Negro. Let me emphasize that. King Louis XIV was a Negro. I talk about all those Negro rulers who ruled Europe. King Louis XIV was a Negro. All right. I'm gonna go down here. People can see this. The people of the Pelican State. Louisiana's largest tribe of Indians was the Caddo. A few Choctaw lived near the Lake Pontchartrain. Excuse me. In 1835, Caddo ceded their remaining land in Northwest for $80,000. Most of the Indians had left the state by 1859. Okay, that's not true. The first white settlers were French, followed by Spaniards. Okay, the original French and Spaniards came in with Negroes. Today, the descendants of these colonists are called Creoles. Most of them belong to the Roman Catholic Church. From 1760 to 1800, about 5,000 French from Acadia, Nova Scotia, settled in south central Louisiana, Acadia. Now you get these so-called Cajuns, Acadia, but it comes from the Acadians. Okay, the Acadians were these group of Negroes who were over, which now known as Mesopotamia, ancient Mesopotamia. That was after Sumer. But the Acadians were over in South America mining for gold. It was also here in the Americas too. So the Acadians, Akkadians, that's Acadians, Cajuns. That's all. Basically, that all comes from originally a black line. So when people are talking about there's no such thing as black Cajuns, the original so-called Cajuns were Negroes themselves, just like the so-called Creoles were Negroes themselves. They weren't mulattoes, but yet mulattoes have hijacked everything, or white people hijacked it, learned the language, learned the culture, and now claim they're the original people, which is a damn lie. All right. Now, I mentioned this other my videos about the black nobility of Europe. The people who ruled Europe were Negroes. So King Louis XIV was a Negro. So the original so-called French and Spaniards and all them people who coming over here, Scotchmen, were Negroes themselves. I don't know why some of my people don't see this or don't even study this. This information in your face. But as long as you listen to Umar Johnson or you listen to people like Yvette Carnell just say you're a descendant of African slaves, which is nonsense. And Umar wants to sit there and tell you that you are, quote, descendant of African slaves. It's nonsense. We are the bloodline of Aboriginal people here. The Indians did not disappear in over Louisiana. They just been reclassified. Some of them know as Creoles today. Some of them known as, quote, African Americans, descendant of African slaves, which is a lie. Most of them are Aboriginal people that are already there. You study them European nobility, man, of those names. Morin, Morvin, Maurice. Those are not no African names, man. Those are names of that British nobility, and you see that Negroes are still naming their kids to that today here in the Americas, man. Why don't we get this? Like I said, in my other videos I talk about, these are other brothers and sisters online that talking about this, but my other videos I've talked about, I had this video planned for a while, but the black nobility, you've had very different black groups, like I said, traveled here by boat, and mingled with the black folks who were already here, warred with the black people that were already here. So you have Negroes all over the place. Even that so-called Confederate flag has its origins with Negroes. You've seen some black figures out of South America or what you call Central America with the stars and bars on there. Some of them have a human figure in the middle of it. Some of them have the battle canyon. But the stars and bars, which originated from our people in the various different confederacies that was hijacked by white folks to create their little Confederate flag and their Confederate so-called states. They've stolen everything. And this is why I do not like that dude Home Team History, because he sits up there and he made the statement, man, that we should not care about black European rulers. We should care because that's our history. And for someone to say that, man, tell me they're a traitor and they don't know what the hell they talking about. Him and that From Nothing clown. These are goofballs. But see, they got large subscribers because they're being backed by Paleface. But as long as you listen to these morons, you're going to be misled. You're not descendant of African slaves. Stop thinking yourself as a conquered victim, man. Those canyons that those white folks came over with, they inherited that from the Aboriginal blacks of Europe who had that. And once they were out of power, they took them canyons and they brought them here. Even the origin of that rifle come from the firing stick, from the so-called Moors. That technology, all this stuff came from our people. This is goofy African dude. Well, you're trying to say black people invented everything. He's not even an Aboriginal American. He's trying to cosplay like Tariq Nasheed. He's an idiot, man. But unfortunately, some of my people listen to that jackass because they just see a black face. Oh, he's down with us. He's one of us. No, he's not. He's what a lot of brothers and sisters are calling a tether. So just because someone has skin tone similar to you, that don't mean they're down for you. It was too much in-house fighting amongst various different groups of Negroes causing our empires to go down. So I'm just telling you that, brothers and sisters, peace and love. G-World.